In this part, we're going to talk about the details of each of these tools that we got familiar with the user interface of the software. The first part that we're going to talk about in Navisworks actually here and could be really helpful to you, and you have to learn it, is selection tree. If you click on it, you will see the window of that in here with the same name actually into here. If you pin it, then in this window you will see the elements that they are based on, the kind of structure. It will list them for us. The way of displaying actually into here in selection tree, I would do attention to the software that you've used before could be different. As an example, the time that, for example, you imported from Revit structure, the list based on file level, and for example, we show you by list. Revit 2014 or later, the formats RVT, or if you, for example, export from Revit by NWC, or based on the structure of the category, family, time, and instance, it will list them for us. And this list is really helpful for us. If, for example, the file of AutoCAD, let me just delete these files from here, and let me click on import from a folder of NDWG. Let me just import a DWG file into here. I can just click in here, and I will click on a star, and until all the formats will be known. Let me click on OK. About the sheet browser, we'll just talk about it in future to get more from there. Let me double click on it, and I will wait that this AutoCAD file is opened. In this file, as you can see, the part of selection tree is based on the layers. It will display them to us based on layers, but in Revit it will show us based on levels. So you have to be careful about this part, that the software that you're just exporting the file from Navis will be based on layers, but in Revit is levels. In the later versions we have collapse that we can just categorize them. We have 4 things in here: standard, compact, and properties. Standard is default of the program, that, for example, the elements will be based on the categories of the, for example, default will be based on level, category, family, tie, and instance. It will list them for us. The second actually option in here is compact. That the elements actually, or files will be based on compacted items. Yes. And it will cause that the complication of the selection tree completely will be removed, and generally we will have that access to them, for example, layer or level in AutoCAD. The properties actually is about the properties that you can just list the for example, things based on the features or elements. For example, each element has its own categorization until the end, or for example, we told that the category name, and for example, what kind of name you want to consider. Each one that you select, it will be in graphic window, it will be selected for us. So the interesting point in here is that, for example, you can select the elements from this part, that, for example, by right clicking, and you can click copy them. The name of this property could be copied. For example, right click and copy them. Or for example, if you click on them by Control C, it will be copied. Where we can use it, where it can be helpful for us, in Manage Set. Let me just click it for it in here. Each one that is selected, it will be activated in here. If you deselect it, it will be inactivated into here. These actually options in here. Right click on it, copy name, and in here search set actually could be selected, and Control V, very easily it will happen. As when we click it, all of these softwares would be selected. Or for example, conduit fitting, right click, copy on conduit, click Control V, enter, they are conduits. Yes. Or for example, let's go to the next options, duct fitting, ducts. Let me copy ducts and add it into here, Control V. The ducts could be selected in here. So if you remember, actually we have 4 items in here. In default, of course, we had 3 options, but when we created Set in here, the fourth list is appear to us. When you click on it, you will see exactly what you're seeing. And set window, we will have that or them in here too. So again, about the set window, of course, we will talk about it in future separately. That, for example, what it can do for us, what kind of a feature it has for us, we will talk about them. So right now we have a kind of standard that these standards by default, exactly what it has got explained. It will just import them for us. The compact will delete all of the complications, and the properties will be based on the features, and the set will be by selection set or safe set that I've created before. It will just list them for us. So in selection tree window, actually, let me go on a standard. The colors actually will be in three forms. One of them is dark blue. I mean, all of the elements are unhidden. If I just click on it and just hide it, you see the color of this list is changed. So if you go on selection tree and, for example, you see a kind of the names of the elements, they are, for example, they are not activated or they're gray, it means that they are actually hidden. Yes. So you have to be careful that if you just hide one title, all of the groups or all of the things under it will be hidden. If you want to hide, for example, one specific item, you have to go on it and just select it and just hide that until the end. So if it is gray, it means it's got hidden. So if you have a red item in here, it means it is required. So we'll talk about this tool in future. So I mean the dark blue or black, actually they mean they are unhidden. If it is gray, it is actually hidden, and red means require. Let me just inactivate it into here. So what kinds of, for example, things they require or hide will do for us. We'll talk about them. How we have to just select these elements from the selection tree. Actually, let me just set it on properties that you can see it better. Whichever that you click on it, for example, category name, you can select them actually by just pressing the control. You can just add it from the different parts to the last option that we had. If you just press control again and select on them, they will be deselected. But shift, if the first actually item is selected and you press shift actually and you go for the last item, all of the path will be selected. All of the things will be selected among between these two actually categories. Every kind of things that you have, they are selected. So by escape, we will just get out of that selection. And for example, if you want actually go for these selections based on the standard, we want to sort them, for example, it's just enough to right click on them and we'll go to my since source sort, excuse me. It will give us a kind of message. If you're sorted, that you can just you cannot have undo into here the last version, so we'll say yes, and it will be sorted by name. We can go to here, scene sort. And for example, if we go on compact, that in this form, what kinds of elements you want to see, you want to customize, for example, into here, we will go into here, application menu, and we'll go on options actually, and we'll click on it. And for example, the window that we can see in here about the interface selection tree, we'll find it in here. And for example, in this part, compact tree, that it is based on model. I mean, we don't have any kind of categories, just the models are appeared to us based on the layers actually in here, or based on the object. We'll just click on OK. And for example, as you can see, it's based on the object. They are being shown to us. I mean, it is the same standard. Let me just return again into here. Let me just say it on level or layer into here.